Good morning, everyone. It's 13th October 2015, 8:30 a.m. Welcome to Justfintech ProAMT Traders Digest. Let me go through the disclaimer first. Trading futures involves substantial risk of loss and not suitable for all investors. This video is for educational purpose only and not a recommendation to trade. Please consult your personal financial advisor or do your own research before taking any trades based on the levels discussed here. We are not responsible for any losses arising due to trades taken on the basis of these levels. The information in this video is in accordance with the terms and conditions risk disclosure disclaimer of justfintech.com. So SGX Nifty is trading almost flat at 8146.25. The bond markets were closed in US yesterday, and S&P was quite range bound within 2000 and 2011 and closed flat, had a nice balance on S&P. We had IIP and CPI data yesterday and was better than expected. Though there is not much impact, SGX at least is not showing any impact of that data, and maybe the data is already factored in. Now let's have a look at what Nifty futures did yesterday. So we had a open auction in range, and it tried to push above the previous day's high, if you can see here, and got rejected there. It instantly went down to test, even pushed below the previous day's VWAP, and went near the previous day's VAL, and then we had a nice rotation up, again rejected at previous day's VAH, and this was where we can assume that the auction was getting weaker. So a sell here, personally I went sell below this because I am a bit conservative in taking the trades and wait for few confirmations instead of just jumping in and getting into a trade. So I had sold it here, and then we never had a test of this previous day's VAH. I had kept a stop loss above this plus filter. So then it kept on going down smoothly, and again tried to push through the VL, could not do so, went back to the developing POC as well as developing value area high. So we get clues of the auction getting weaker when firstly when it's within the previous day's value area and cannot push through the previous day's value area high, and then it can't push through the developing value area high as well. So at some point of time was expecting a break below the VAL, and finally that happened at 2 o'clock when it pushed through the VAL, and see how it came to test back, because it's the intermediate trend was up and it's still a very premature time stage to say that the trend has turned down, but still it looks like this rally is over temporarily, and we might see further lower levels, because if this auction had some strength, it would have not stayed here. Rather, it would have pushed through this and pushed into the developing value. What I do is have a Renko chart for my trades so that I can see how it's rotating. If you can see this, this is a 60 tick Renko, so a 3-point Renko for Nifty. Now, this rotation down is much larger than this rotation up. So, these rotations give an idea who is in control. So, one is the rotation, and secondly, we have market profile to look at the levels where those rotations are happening. Most of the time, it happens that whichever side the auction wants to go, it will have a larger rotation towards that side. So we can estimate the skew, how it is going to work out ahead. And this is the volume profile. What we had on the previous chart was a TPO based profile. This is the volume profile. The POC volume POC of previous day was on the upside, and what I had expected is if it manages to push above this, to push above the high and get acceptance above that, then I would again continue with my longs. But that didn't happen. I had no positions yesterday in the morning and was waiting for some clues to take the positions. Now, this light cyan line is the day mid. It is basically the day high plus day low divided by 2. So it's like the simple pivot, but a developing pivot. So here we can see it it tried to push above this, could not manage to stay there, and see how it rotated down here. Now this is a congestion zone. So obviously we would see if some bounces have to come, it would come off these levels because these are the pullback highs and lows where most often than not the auction tries to rebalance itself. If it wants to again reverse or wants to again carry forward with where it's going. So this break was what I was showing on the previous chart. This break helped me take a short position here, and the stop loss was above this, which actually many times it always matches when you see a pullback high, and if you keep a stop loss above that pullback high, it will be actually the mid which is formed initially, and this is the mid which was formed the year. So the stop loss was above this, and which exactly matches with that pullback high plus filter. So it pushed down, and this being the value area low, this is the value area low volume based. So though we didn't touch the TPO based value area low, we did get a bounce off this volume based value area low. It tried to rotate back. Now this rotation uh, was a kind where I could see that it may push up above the mid and try to get acceptance above that. But see how it rotated here. It touched the mid in between, but got rejected, and actually it formed a balance below the mid. Instead of going, had it formed a balance above the mid, I would have exited my shorts and entered longs. But this was no clue for me to go long. So again it went up. Now this the stop loss has still not moved, because when you do scalping, you can do scalping in the minutest time frame and just take like 10-15 points off and relax and again wait for another entry. But when we are doing Day trades are not just like scalp trades. You write the whole trend once you know the intermediate trend, and even if you want, you can convert those day trades into positional ones and carry forward on the side of the trend. Obviously, I go hedged always because uh, you never know what's going to happen, and sufficient hedge is required if you want to carry trades overnight, because I've burnt enough hands and don't want to be in the same position. Otherwise, everything we analyze would be useless if we can't make money out of it. And also, this is one way of trading which I prefer. It is not necessary that everyone follows market profile or everyone follows order flow, everyone follows volume profile. That is not a requirement for trading. Uh, whatever you are comfortable with, if you are comfortable with moving average crossover, you are comfortable with few oscillators or indicators, that's totally fine. Only thing is, we need to get used to trading a particular instrument. We should know how that instrument behaves, or what are the kind of rotations it gives, and what happens primarily when it changes the primary trend. Because it's very easy to trade against the trend. It's not that you won't make money, but the money made against the trend will be very less. And at times, the account may blow off if we get a gap down or gap up open against our position. And most of the times, the gap ups or gap downs, most of the times come in the direction of the trend. So here we come back to Nifty again. From this area, it again pushed down. The Again, the down rotation was higher than these pullbacks. So this again, you come to know that the skew is towards the downside. What I would have done is again take a short trade on the break of this, because this was the developing POC on the TPO chart. So basically, what I do is I keep this chart open and the TPO chart open, and take confirmations from the order flow. Uh, I like the reason why I exited at this point was a push. I'll zoom out and see. See, this is the congestion of Thursday, 8th October. So this area is quite thickly populated. It becomes difficult to push through a thickly populated area when the trend is still forming. Once we are in a confirmed downtrend, obviously the push will be quite swift and will not take time to push through. But it's the auction is still in indecision and deciding whether it has to push beyond this area. So when we enter such areas, we have to be careful where to take profits off, because till we don't book the trades, it's obviously not in our pockets. The profit is just on the ledger and does not go into the bank account. So here, see, this is a nice balance forming this whole area, and a conservative exit from the short would be on the break of this, because we formed a balance. And so either what I do is either just draw a temporary value area for this. So this is the balance, and suppose this is the low. I draw a temporary value area. This is the value area high. So either you exit above this value area high or exit above this high. Above this high, I would not stay short for that intra trade. Now the carry forward depends on where the trend is. And this Again, when you are looking at order flow, it all depends on how you see the order flow, because basically order flow is just the volume happening at the bid and ask. So if we just keep on seeing the numbers everywhere, it won't help, because see, we can see buyers here also, we can see buyers here, we can see sellers here, but what matters is where do they come and how aggressively do they come. Because a buyer coming here and then no follow up doesn't show any aggression, because they are not able to move the auction up. A buyer doesn't make sense if he is not able to lift the second offer and take the auction further up. He will turn into a stuck buyer. He would come jump in at the top of it, just execute his buy and sit there without doing anything, and would himself get stuck. So it's not important to see just these numbers. We should give weightage to where they are coming and what they are doing. See, these buyers, they just because there are sellers here. I'll just zoom in. So there, we found sellers just at the previous day VAH. So this seller has to be given importance, whether he can push the auction down or not. Because see, we were seeing a good pullback. The pullback stalls here, and we see sellers. And these buyers are the ones who will get stuck if the auction had to rotate down. At this point, we don't know what is going to happen. So we can't even after having this, it's not possible to preempt that this is for sure going to happen. We are just trading the probabilities when the odds are in our favor. Here again we see a seller, and now they are able to push the auction down below all these buyers. These all buyers are taken off. So now this will be a point. Again, see, everything merges to a same point. We got the same thing on the 3-minute chart, we got the same thing on a Renko chart, and we are getting the same thing on this 15-minute chart. This pull after coming down, seeing a pullback here. So this pullback wasn't able to push beyond this. So we know that now these sellers are going to control the auction in the shorter time frame. Now let's have a look at Banknifty. Banknifty was showing initial signs of strength. It had been a laggard since few days, and if we see, it had been like very range bound, forming a nice balance here. And it tried to push back again the same thing as Nifty. It tried to push through the previous day's high and could not sustain there. Again, it was seeing, see, it is seeing sellers since this. There were sellers at open, there were sellers in this, there were seller. So all these are sellers. This is the cumulative delta of that each bar divided by 250. I've done it divide by 250 because 25 is the lot size, and wanted to see lesser decimals above this, so that when I just zoom out of this chart, still I can see the numbers. So sellers were coming down here. They don't matter till they are not able to push the auction down, because if this seller would have pushed it through this, then we would have got a sell here. But till that seller is not able to push beyond a certain known reference point, that seller can't control the auction. So we can't go just short because the auction is in imbalance, it's above the VH, or can't even buy it here, because see, this breakout has to be tested. It has to be retraced back, because when you see a wide range bar, it's like a part of just the conventional analysis, and we can surely mix any type of analysis with MP, where we can get an edge in knowing what the auction is going to do. Now this POC, the developing POC, is chopping. So this gives an idea that we are not going to go down, then we are not even going to go up, because most of the times when you see the POC would change after a certain number of bars and would either keep on going higher or keep on coming down. It would not chop like this. If it starts chopping like this, it suggests that we are going to form a sideways move and a sideways balance. So now we got a balance here. Here, here I would have actually gone short, though I don't trade Bank Nifty much, but I would have actually gone short here if I would have gotten a break of this bar. See, it's the first bar which pushed through the previous day value area high. Excuse me. But could not again break that. So everything depends on whether we are getting few confirmations or not. It's not like jumping into the trade just because some level has broken, so you jump into the trade. It will give you enough time once it's starting a fresh move, because the skew was towards the upside initially and it wanted to go down, so it won't happen all of a sudden. So finally we got a break here, this push beyond this VH and a break. So see, when that happens, it happens in a faster way. Now this push has much more intensity than all those rises and all those sideways moves. And apart barring this, now we'll see the same thing on a Renko. This is a 160 tick Renko, and I'll just put the volume profile in. Now see, we saw a nice balance on this Renko here. This pullback was very huge. So this rotation actually, same like Nifty, it was showing a lot of strength, and I was assuming it to get acceptance above this previous day's high, which happened to be the previous day's volume based value area high as well. But it started chopping badly. So as we saw there, the POC went sideways and started chopping. So see how this has chopped. The rotations got smaller and went sideways. So again, the same thing we can do is draw a value area just for this balance. And see, we have got this. So if we, because till here we didn't have this value. If we drew this till here, we would not have this value. Obviously the value would be different, but now we have a very balanced curve, almost a Gaussian curve, and a break below this, and see how it could not again go with it. So we got like 3-4 confirmations together here. One is the break of this developing value, the other is break of the VWAP, and once it pushed below the day mid, again see it could not go above the day mid. So when we get like these kind of confirmations, it is better to take the trade on that side and trail it with a stop loss so that we can consume the whole move. Now coming to what we expect today. Now this is the micro balance I have drawn. If you can see, so we broke out of this, trended here, and then started going sideways. And we are within this rectangle since almost a week, 5 days. So what I've done is to see the value area of this complete balance. So this is the value area of this balance, and yesterday it was able to halt there. So what I expect today is we get a flat open and either go to touch this, rotate towards here, again chop, try to push through this, but maybe get rejected somewhere here. So what I expect is get a rejection here and then start pushing down and test what lies below this, because there is a cluster of support here, and ideally I think that it should break below this, test this 8110, 8115 kind of level, and then again bounce back and see if it has any buying interest left. If it fails to hold this, this is the only support which I can see on the chart, and which is this pullback high, and is a very important LVN around 8090 and 8095. So if it gets acceptance below this, if it starts auctioning down here, and if it starts going sideways here, and then if it gets acceptance below this, then it can break down to 8050, or it's never like a precise number where it can come to. We just can just pre-assume few hypos and just think what it may or may not do. It's not necessary that it does like this, because when it's developing, we have to see how it's behaving at that time rather than just assuming what it will do. The second hypo will be that it opens flat, tries to push down, but gets buyers here. So if that happens, it will try to again push back here above this, try to get acceptance above 8160, and then push towards previous day's value area high and previous day's mid. So this is becoming an important resistance time being, because it's a very thickly populated area, also has a lot of volume, has a HVN here, and a very important point to push above if the auction has to go further up. Any chances of further rises will only be if we get acceptance above these levels. Till then, I am not so sure of this rally going beyond this point till we don't get accepted above this. The reason being, this is a Nifty spot long-term profile where I have drawn just custom profiles of each balances as they happen. So we got this nice rejection of the lower balance. We have rejected that twice. This was the RBI day, and this was one that gapped down, which could not find acceptance inside this value. So, and we are in this, the fresh balance which broke above this and then started forming a fresh balance. What's happening is it's not able to stay above this highs. It was staying above this value area high for quite some time, but is not able to get acceptance above this. And yesterday finally it pushed within this balance. So here it again becomes the same point as what was there on that chart. So 8091 spot. So that is like 10 points plus or minus the futures. So this again becomes an important point. If it pushes below this, then we have this 8049, which is again the same thing on that chart, 8050 that we had there. And any push above this, so this 8170 and 8179, so that again becomes the 8181 which was there on that chart. So I think I'm done with my time of want to prepare for today's trade. It's just the first day, and I'm just putting in sincere efforts to spread this technique of market profiling and volume profiling, and will try to do my best. So that's it for today. Have a profitable trading day, everyone, and thanks for watching.